On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style. I hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Really had a fun live show last night, and I think we actually made some progress. I think it was actually good, and I got some positive feedback from people that they felt like they could feel kind of the vibe that was going. So that's a good thing. So we are making inroads. We've also got major shenanigans are happening. We also can see all sorts of their charade falling apart, and of course we've got just the push heading into the final day before we find out what's really going on. Now, I will say the funny thing is we got to get out and vote early, period. I'm going to have to say this every day. The day of voting is probably not a good day to get out and vote. We're already finding out there's a Dominion system issue, and it's not us talking about it, and they're also saying it's nationwide, which is fun, and we get to look at what the media was saying a week ago versus today. Oh, we've got all sorts of good stuff. Going to start off with, these dudes are funny. I don't know, I've found them numerous times, and they crack me up every time. And this was just a rather enjoyable 3 jokes they told, so I thought we'd start here.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go into the bathroom? Because the pee is silent. Somebody asked me, where did your sister go, honey? I said, I'll ask her. He said, never mind, I'll ask her myself. I said, okay. Oh, God. What do you call a lazy kangaroo? A pouch potato.
A pouch potato. I like that. I especially like the pterodactyl one because it's got that P in there. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl P? Because the P is silent. That was pretty damn funny. I'll probably remember that one for the rest of my days. This is just messed up, man. I'm going to, my little Yankee fan, I say little, he's, like mafioso dude. But if he's at the restaurant tonight when I go, I'm going to ask him about this little number. What's up, New York fans? This is pretty fudged up. You got to win that, but again, it's like what's going on with the election. The only way you can win is to cheat. What is going on, people?
Dude grabs his glove. Other dude holds Mookie's hand, and he grabs the ball out. Never seen that before. Unbelievable. He's grabbing Mookie's hand while the other one has the glove.
That's so beyond effed up. Now, they better have called it caught. I don't know what happened, but of course, go Dodgers. There you go. I had to say it. In fact, it was fun being in North Carolina while the Mets were playing the Dodgers. There was someone that was very, very angry at somebody's mother on the Dodgers side. A lot of chinga tu madre type stuff, and I was just like, dang. And I started laughing, and he looked over and goes, sorry. He goes, nah, it's cool. I'm sure someone's mom did some bad stuff out there, and they started laughing, so it was cool. We made friends. They didn't have to know I was from the West Coast. We didn't go there. I wasn't wearing a Dodger hat or anything stupid. So, yeah. All said, Elon Musk is apparently working on how to monetize video on X. That'll be cool. That'll be fun. It'll be fun to be able to upload videos there and see that kind of, a new world, a new place that might be fair, unlike YouTube. That would be cool. Or at least where I'm not, at least shadow banned, ridiculously. Now, speaking of Elon Musk, holy crap, man. Do you realize Elon Musk? He has 11 children. 11 kids. You'd have to be the richest man in the world. And by the way, for all the people that say, "Oh, our population is slowly dwindling," no, it's apparently not. Elon is doing a damn good job making up for all sorts of other people. So I just wanted to say thank you, Elon, for helping with the fact that I didn't have a kid. Right. So there you go. He's one of those. One of those are mine. He can pay for them though. No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, he's buying a $35 million secret luxury compound for his kids and 2 of his moms. Why? Because he's gotten so many threats. And I guess it's probably going to be a giant shoe, let's be honest. It'll be a giant shoe. That should be A fun little nursery rhyme joke for people out there, maybe. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Their system is not long for this world, probably. We're seeing it all start to fall apart. We're seeing them fight to the bitter end. And we're seeing that a lot of this deep state stuff is just, frankly, not going to work. ESG is going by the wayside. We're seeing Boeing drop down. We're seeing certain companies that are literally starting to shut down. We're seeing banks that are starting to have issues. Yeah, their system's coming unraveled. You don't want to be stuck in the middle of it. You don't want to be stuck in a 401k or an IRA attached to stocks and cash. You want to be in an IRA that's backed by precious metals or that's attached to precious metals, physical metals. Literally, when you transfer tax-free, penalty-free, by the way, yeah, you get out of their system, tax-free, penalty-free, into precious metals. They physically buy precious metals for you. They put them in a trust. They got like a sticker on them or something for you, and that's yours. You own precious metals. It's not like they say you do on paper, and then if for some reason you decide to sell, they're like, okay, crap, we need to get some metals. No, they buy them when you do this. It's your metals. Yeah. You actually own the asset. You control the asset. It's now yours. Now, it may be sitting in a trust. That's how you do it tax-free, penalty-free. If you have it sent to you, they will rape you. Do not do that. It's not worth it. You'd lose potentially 70% of your money. Don't do that. Push it sideways, and then maybe somewhere down the road you change your mind. But right now, push it sideways. Get as much as you can. And by the way, 10%, up to 10%, they say, up to 10%. Of whatever the value is of your 401k or IRA when you transfer over, up to 10% of that, free silver. That's a big deal. Silver's underpriced right now, really, and we also feel there's a multiplier kicking in too at some point because there's a lot of manufacturing done with silver. Silver is an excellent purchase, and when they're giving you some extra on top, 10% of whatever it is you got free just for saying thanks for coming to Goldco, yeah, you know you made the right move. Yeah, go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system before they get out of you. All right, lots of manipulation. Let's start here, first off. Now, interestingly, the FBI has possessed Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop since December of 2019, and they knew that the files cited by the Post in its coverage came from a Delaware computer repairman and not the Kremlin. But after downplaying the world exclusive to big tech, the FBI kept silent publicly as 51 ex-intelligence officials suggested, and then candidate Joe Biden outright alleged that the files originated in Russia. It was complete and total lie. It was complete and total fiction and election interference. They literally controlled this story. See, this is what they all want to go back to. Facebook has to have the same rules, and X needs to follow what Facebook does, and YouTube and all that. They can't stand the fact that we talk about this stuff, that they don't control the narrative. This, again, is evidence how they're going to lose. So this whole entire thing, the FBI so heavily fudged up that I don't think there's any way they ever recover from this. The level of trust that they would need to try to bring to the table is beyond words, that's for sure. Steve Bannon's got some words to say to Nancy Pelosi.
And Nancy Pelosi thought a federal prison was going to break me. Well, it empowered me. It empowered me. I am more empowered today, more focused today, sharper today, in better shape today than I've ever been in my entire life. So Nancy Pelosi, suck on that.
I gotta say, he's got to be a very easy person to buy clothes for. I don't know what type of pants he wears, but black button-up, long-sleeve shirt, green it looks like, or maybe just super faded black polo, probably short sleeve. And then a black t-shirt. I'm getting a vibe here. I don't know, just getting a vibe. And the jacket, obviously, but yeah, he used jackets forever. Yeah, he's pissed at Nancy. I wouldn't doubt it. It's probably only going to help him. It's only going to help him make zillions of extra dollars, so that's awesome. I hope he's making zillions of dollars for that matter. Harris campaign manipulates Reddit with sophisticated astroturfing plan. They're reportedly manipulating the social media platform Reddit and breaking the rules in order to control the narrative on the site and make Vice President Kamala Harris appear more popular than she actually is. I guess there's some investigation by the Federalists. Reddit is notoriously left-leaning. The term astroturfing refers to fake grassroots campaign, which involves campaign staffers or volunteers posing as ordinary people to create the illusion that there is more support being expressed in favor of a particular candidate or issue than there actually is. They did this a bunch in Twitter back in the day. Obviously, they can't anymore. This is one of their ways of controlling things. Now, again, a lot of people spend way too much time, I think, freaking out about what NBC is saying, ABC, CBS, and I guess they're like, well, I want to hear what the enemy's saying. All right, whatever. To me, it's just ridiculous. It's a stupid idea, but that's cool. You want to do that? I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying the idea is stupid. But this is exactly what they're doing too. So you might as well just read Reddit while you're at it too and waste all of your time taking in shit information and emotional manipulation, because that's really what's going on in those places. Again, that's why I think it's stupid. I'd rather spend my time, I only have so much of it, it's a finite amount, reading stuff that benefits me, helps me learn what's actually going on, helps me figure out where we need to go. I don't give a shit what these other people are saying. They're nuts. I'm not talking to them. I'm never going to talk to them. I'm never going to be on those stupid shows, so I don't care, right? So Reddit is doing this. This is what Twitter used to do, astroturfing. So again, they don't have as many places to astroturf right now. That's one of the big victories for us. Get a load of this one. Oh, this is Maricopa County. Oh, yeah, they're not going to be able to deliver results
races and
of the election on time, of course. We've sort of heard this, but here's another douche saying it.
Arizona will take a while because of a state law that allows people to actually walk their mail absentee ballots into the polling place up to 7 o'clock on election day. Historically, that is a large number of people who take that option. Plus, in Maricopa County, 60% of the state, they have so many races and initiatives on the ballot that it's going to go to 2 pieces of paper for the first time, which means there will be twice as many pieces of paper to tabulate.
Well, at least the dude can do math right on the fly. I'm going to give him points on that. And it really, frankly, doesn't matter, right? Because Brett Brewer is going to call it at probably about 5 o'clock anyway. So you say 7 o'clock, the election's done. Brett Brewer will probably have called it by 5. Just saying. Brett Brewer. Joe Biden calls Trump supporters garbage. Oh, he's getting a lot of flack for this. In fact, Kamala Harris is freaking out. So much good stuff's coming from this. So he was pissed off about the comedian at the Madison Square Garden Trump rally, the roaster guy that was talking about the pile of trash floating in the ocean, and then he called it Puerto Rico. Now, I think we have images of why they have that reputation. I also, which is funny, because Biden, when he starts talking in here, he tries to almost make it sound like, that he's from Puerto Rico or something. Like he was about to make up something, but then he's like, crap, I can't say I'm from there. And then he's like, the people from, crap, I don't really know anyone that's Puerto Rican in my hometown. There's no Puerto Rican people probably. And so, yeah, it was funny. It seems like he's struggling for an example of a Puerto Rican, and then he just has to settle on how he goes with it. I do believe I have a couple Puerto Rican friends, oddly. One of them I think is oddly close to me right now. I'm pretty sure, hopefully. I don't want to say the name right now, but I think one of my close friends that texts me on a regular basis, I believe is Puerto Rican. All said, Biden calls Trump supporters as only garbage I see floating out here. What's also funny, too, is they refer to Puerto Ricans as Latinos, which is also funny because that's not true. Latinos are from Latin America, not Mexico, because Mexicans are Mexicans, and if you call a Mexican a Latino, they don't get as pissed off as if you call a Latino a Mexican. They get pissed. So whatever the case is, that's from people from Latin America. Now, Puerto Rico is not part of that, so you could call them Puerto Ricans, pretty sure. Yeah. They're still brown, so you're cool there. That checkbox is checked either way you call it, but guys, you guys got to learn your stuff a little bit.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
So he said supporters. That's what he said. They then had to clarify. It is funny when they show, I don't think I have it, but when they show the White House's, like the White House spelling of it, like the it's just very funny, very funny. And you could read it a lot clearer there than you could listening to him about how he was like trying to find an example of a Puerto Rican in his life somewhere. Ezra Cohen said garbage is going to save America. Damn straight. I agree with that 100%. So, yeah, here's where they started to try to clean up a little bit. So Joe Biden said earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporters at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. I mean, I don't know if he's mixing metaphors here, if he's calling Puerto Ricans Latinos, whatever, that's fine. It is Joe Biden, it's Karine Jean-Pierre, but that's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. So, okay, I mean, he kind of came back out and said, yeah, that was probably after Kamala Harris freaked out on him on the phone, you know, because she always does the phone calls. Yeah, so I'm just sitting here right now wanting to, like, poke your eyes out and then shove a hot prod right up your butt. And Joe's like, no, seriously, what are you wearing? So, like, you know, it was a tempting call at first, and then he realized, oh, I'm in trouble. Shit, sorry. And Wokeness said, no, you called us garbage. It's on tape. There you go, and Wokeness. There you go. You got to be at least 40 or older. Probably older than 40. Probably 50 plus. You have to be, because nothing's on tape anymore, unfortunately. Tape is good, though. I miss the days. It is a phrase, though. It's like, let's go make a Xerox of this, even though it might be a Canon copier, right? Here's Trump talking about, the garbage comment. This was his take on it.
Joined by some incredible people. I already mentioned Senator Marco Rubio. Marco, will you come up here, please? Come on. Good man, this one. Thank you, Marco. Thank you. You want to say something? Go ahead.
All right. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who love their country and want to dream big again and support you, Mr. President. And I hope their campaign is about to apologize for what Joe Biden just said. We are not garbage. We are patriots who love America. And thank you for running, Mr. President.
And I just got to say, I am so proud to be supporting and giving a good call out to that fine Latino gentleman, Marco Rubio. He's Cuban, right? Oh, they're not Latin American either? Yeah. Who knows what Biden calls them? I just felt that was another reason to pull that scab off one more time. Sorry. You know, there's nobody in here talking to me. It's my head talking to me, you know. Hello. I can hear that, but no other peoples. Trump's campaign came out. They had a comment to make. President Trump is backed by Latinos, black voters, union workers, angel moms, law enforcement officers, Border Patrol agents, and Americans of all faiths. And Harris, Waltz, and Biden have labeled these great Americans as fascists, Nazis, and now garbage. There's no way to spin it. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris don't just hate President Trump. They despise the tens of millions of Americans who support him. Kamala does not deserve 4 more years. President Trump will be a president for all Americans. Now, it's Carolyn Leavitt, his campaign person. And then Donald Trump had a chance to post. While I am running a campaign of positive solutions to save America, Kamala Harris is running a campaign of hate. She has spent all week comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. Now, on top of everything, Joe Biden calls our supporters garbage. You can't lead America if you don't love the American people. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have shown they are both unfit to be president of the United States. I am proud to lead the biggest, broadest, and most important political coalition in American history. We are welcoming historic numbers of Latinos, African Americans, Asian Americans, and citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. It is my desire to be the president of all the people. I like Trump. I even like his mean tweets. J.D. Vance couldn't miss an opportunity, nor could a whole slew of other people, but I just grabbed these two guys because I seem like they're the most relevant. But J.D. Vance's take on all of this, Vinod Khosla said garbage is an understatement for MAGA extremists. Biden suggests Trump supporters are garbage after comics insult to Puerto Rico. So this is what Vinod is saying. And then J.D. Vance is like, one of Kamala Harris's biggest donors is doubling down on calling half the country garbage. Will Kamala and her campaign return his contributions, or will they continue to insult half of the country for the sin of thinking Kamala Harris isn't good at her job? Ouch. Ouch, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of a dumpster fire is going on. Even CNN is admitting some damage has been done with this comment.
Tonight, there's new reporting about Joe Biden and a moment that explains why things are the way that they are. Sources tell CNN that the president is in do no harm mode, stapling himself to the bench at the direction of the Harris campaign. Well, even from the White House, he may have done some pretty significant harm in the final week of the campaign. Just listen to this, and you be the judge.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
Joining us now, Franklin Leonard. He is in our fifth seat. He's the founder and CEO of the Blacklist. That was a moment, and not a moment that the Harris campaign wanted. I want to just read, this is Biden on X trying to clarify all of this. He says, earlier today I referenced to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporters at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say.
Yeah, what, that didn't seem like that made it better, did it? No. And oddly, CNN's like one of the few news sources I occasionally will play, like NBC and stuff like that. It's like just not even worth it unless it's relative to what we're talking about. But it's crazy. So meanwhile, by the way, today, Puerto Rico Senator Zoraida Buxo has endorsed Donald Trump for president.
I strongly and fully support and endorse Donald J. Trump to be our 47th president, to make America great again.
There you go. That's Puerto Rico, you know, the place
strongly,
that... Dude, you can stop. You can stop. That's what you can...
fully support. I strongly...
All right, she can just shut the fuck up. Oh, I can't even get out of this, can I? There we go. Holy crap. So anyway, I guess in Puerto Rico, I'm not going to click any more of this shit because I just get stuck in it forever. There's like a timeless... It's like... I don't know what it is. I don't know. Never ending. That's what it is. Yeah, so Puerto Rico's actually driving around in support of Trump as well. So seems like what they're saying is a bunch of trash. Whoops. Was that an accident? Beauty queen claims Donald Trump groped her after luring her back to his suite in New York's Plaza Hotel. This was back in '93. So we know the playbook, right? When Hitler 2.0 flops, Trump groped my ass 32 years ago is the golden child, the box, right, that they opened up in Pulp Fiction and just lit up their face with gold. Yeah. Oh, it was a beautiful thing. Yeah. There we are. All over again. Same playbook, same wrap-up smear, except here's the problem. They don't control the AstroTurf, do they? Now, sure, on Reddit, everybody's like, Trump's da-da-da. All right, well, that's fine. You obviously get your information from Reddit. They're like, how'd you know that? Because it's like one of the only places that says what you're saying. This is interesting. I want to play it a little bit fast, but this dude, he's the mayor of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Permits have already been signed and given. They already started setting stuff up. Then the mayor decides to walk in and try to shut it down. This is a Trump thing. Yeah, check this out. We're going to have to watch the whole thing, but check this out.
Oh, really? Yeah. You put out a press statement yesterday, the city did, saying that this entire block was closed. On Apple Maps, you know what it shows? It shows this entire intersection closed. Look it up. You think I'm going to remove the barricades now? Yeah, you're out of your fucking mind. Don't ever pull that shit on me again. The entire police force was confused. Yeah, go ahead and call your chief, please. You're going to open it up while the trucks are right there, too. Really? You got a food truck right there. How is this in the way of voting? So someone lives on that block right there. They can't walk around to the other side. Why don't you walk it with me? Let's walk. Oh, really? I'm gonna be a problem? I'm not the one who lied to you the entire time. You tried to pull some fake shit on the permits. Oh, really? You're laughing? You told us Saturday was fine. And then you say we can't have our porta potties there? Really? Okay, go ahead and fucking call him. You're saying you're trying to pull that permit shit on us? You told us we could do that. Oh, really? You gotta pull a permit now? Oh, okay, yeah, right. Come on now. Oh, really? Election is 8 days away. You said we could close up this entire intersection. And then the day of, you show up in a fresh suit with all your cameras, trying to show like you're big and strong that you can shut this down. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Oh, okay, why don't we walk it? Why don't we walk it right now? Let's go and walk it. What is it, Arnold Schwarzenegger? You don't do anything crazy. You walk on the outside of the fence. Get up right here. Oh, what's that on Twitter? The city of Allentown is advising residents and visitors prepare for traffic and... Oh, it's on Twitter. Thought you were on Twitter. The event will be hosted at the PPL Center on Tuesday, October 29th, and is set to start at 7 p.m. The city has announced street closures in the downtown area. 7th Street from Linden to Walnut and Hamilton Street from 6th to 8th Street will be closed starting at 5 p.m. on Monday. Now... That was what we released at 4. Oh, okay. Really? You gonna pull that shit on me? Really? You want to... Let's walk it.
I love this dude. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but hopefully it gets better even. I mean, I thought it was Pee Wee Herman at first. That was funny, but he's like, oh, he looks too young. But it's like a young Paul Rubin, it looks like. I bet they love those ears. I bet they just love those ears, though. You know what I mean? Well, I think they're handlebars to the gay community. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that. Pete, what do you think? He's not here right now. That would make me gay. Or a criminal, keeping him without his permission. That would be messed up too. So yeah, Pete Buttigieg is not here, feds or anybody else. I'm just letting you know. It was a joke. Maybe not funny, but certainly an attempt at humor. That's all. What my girlfriend would call a comedian. There is Pennsylvania right here shutting down this whole thing. But I guess we've got this new breaking news in Bucks County, at least, Pennsylvania. Emergency services just shut down the voting line. I thought I had good news. I got some good news coming up anyway. But this is Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is actively posting on X that if you're in line by 5 p.m., they will help you. Here's somebody well before 5 p.m. shutting down the line.
It's 2:41, and they are ending the line.
That seems illegal, and oddly, it's like the police doing it, which is funny. Maybe there's too many Republicans showing up, and they've got to stop it. Donald Trump posted this in regards to all this nonsense. Wow, York County, Pennsylvania received thousands of potentially fraudulent voter registration forms and mail-in ballot applications from a third-party group. This is on top of Lancaster County being caught with 2,600 fake ballots and forms, all written by the same person. Really bad stuff. What is going on in Pennsylvania? Law enforcement must do their job immediately. Wow. Yeah, for sure. Donald Trump, Pennsylvania is cheating and getting caught at large-scale levels rarely seen before. Thank you, guys. Report cheating to authorities. Law enforcement must act now. Here is a huge ballot printing error, apparently, that's happened in Nevada County, California, preventing 77,000 ballots from being scanned.
We want to talk about problems printing ballots in Nevada County. With 12 days until Election Day, officials there are working around the clock to try and fix this situation.
Your reporter covering Nevada County, Kayla Mueller, is live for us in front of the elections office, getting answers on what's being done about this, Kayla.
Well, Marley and Hunter, the Nevada County elections first realized something was wrong on Monday. The next day they diagnosed the problem, but the error is specific to vote by mail ballots. However, they aren't quite sure exactly how many of the 77,000 issued ballots are affected, but they do have a plan to rescan the ones that are.
That a lot of the public is very nervous about the process, about the results.
A vote-by-mail ballot error has some Nevada County residents concerned. County elections realized something was wrong on Monday. Their machines weren't properly reading all the ballots. They called the Secretary of State and their printing service and diagnosed the issue as an ink overspray on some of the barcodes.
Some of our ballots, if you look really closely and you use a magnifying glass, you will see that there is imperfections in the barcodes.
I want to show you what these ballots look like. If you take a look here, we're covering some private information. but the one on the left has already been processed. The problem is with these barcodes, and the one on the right needs to be rescanned. But as you can see, they look very similar.
We will go ahead and...
I was going to say, fortunately, I read barcodes. I can read them right there, human friendly. That says right there that Dan radio style is awesome on the Fringe. Yeah, no, it actually does say that. I don't know why they blocked it out. I was totally fine with that. Kind of kidding, of course. No, they effed up printing them. I don't know if they tell us if it's Runbeck or not. I don't want to play all this because it's like pretty stupid long, but yeah, they printed a bunch of ballots at a low resolution printing. It's what I found when we used to test. I worked for a company. I want to say who they are, but again, it's probably not a good idea. But I worked for one of the major scanning software companies out there. And when we did testing and stuff, if I printed anything, I want to say below, I want to say it was 300 DPI. Anything below that, the barcodes just weren't typically good enough. It depended on how good the printer was and whatnot, but generally you had to do a higher DPI. 600 usually worked better. 300s were a little shaky. So again, this is what I remember anyways. It's been a little while. But yeah, sometimes barcodes need to be printed with ultra high quality, and it should be probably closer to 1200 or higher, but whatever. The case is the case. Appeals court rules against the GOP in a case challenging 225,000 voter registrations in North Carolina. They sued North Carolina's State Board of Elections over these voter registrations. The court has blocked this. Let's see if we can get some information on the vote. The claiming voters were registering using a registration form that did not require identification. So they're not taking this up right now, at least to the, I want to say it's the appellate court. Whether this makes it up to the Supreme Court, we'll see. And a lot of it's going to come down to how well it's spelled out in the state's state's constitution. If it's well spelled out, then it will work perfectly in the Supreme Court. They've already ruled on one. I swear I think I've got one of those, or I mentioned it yesterday. So much stuff's bleeding together right now, I can't even tell you. Judge has rejected the GOP bid to restrict overseas ballots in the Pennsylvania case. Again, a lot of stuff's going on in Pennsylvania right now. Here's another lawsuit. They had people that had never, ever been in the state were registering to vote in the state. They might have been Americans, but they never, I think, ever lived in Pennsylvania and still were requesting ballots from overseas. And I would assume some of these people aren't necessarily from the states, which is even worse. And Pennsylvania's totally cool with it. I think they took away all the ability to look it up. You don't have to provide any sort of proof of citizenship or anything along those lines. We'll see. Judge Christopher Connor dismissed the suit as a non-starter, noting that the plaintiffs had waited too long to file. Too long now. See, we've been trying to do all this stuff all along, and they've been stalling and delaying, and then once it finally gets here, right, finally before the election at least, sorry, you waited too long. It's okay. Again, shining that light on there. Shine it bright. Supreme Court has ruled that RFK Jr. will appear on the battleground ballots despite suspending his campaign. Here's the thing, guys. Since he's come on board, this is only going to hurt the Dems. This will only hurt the Dems. People that would have voted for Kamala will likely vote for RFK Jr. just because they don't like Kamala and they don't like Trump. I'll take it. I'm going to call that a win. Especially if his numbers show significance there, not more than Trump by any stretch of the imagination, but more than Kamala. That would be interesting. And I do think we might see some of those things. Again, do they tell us? We'll see. I mean, like many say, it shouldn't be our last election. Oh, this was that video that I would have gotten time-lapse trapped in. So yeah, I guess this is a massive pro-Trump caravan in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico for Trump, for Make America Great Again. Puerto Rico for Trump. Y nuestro próximo y seguro senador, Nelson Albino.
Yeah, anyways, it's pretty cool. A lot of people obviously excited about what's going on in the big picture here. So here's the Supreme Court thing. Yeah, this is the good one. Supreme Court rules. Yeah, let's get out of here. It'll be a little easier to read down here. Supreme Court has ruled that Virginia has the authority to remove non-citizens from its voter registration list. Boo-yah! The rationale provided is that voting rights are inherently tied to citizenship. Thus, non-citizens are not deprived of voting rights since they were never entitled to vote in the first place. Boom! Precedent. Let that sink in for a second. Most of you guys got it. I mean, I know. So I was just, for the rest of the class, there was a couple people scratching their heads. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Trump campaign sues Bucks County, Pennsylvania, alleging it's turning away our voters. So those are the people that were getting held up in line. Well, they're actually going after him right now. How long is this?
We have breaking news from the Trump campaign involving a lawsuit against Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Let's go back to NBC's Dasha Burns. Dasha, what do we know about this?
All right, so we just received an email from the Trump-Vance campaign saying that they have filed a lawsuit over voter suppression in Pennsylvania. The press release states that this is a direct violation of Pennsylvanians' right to cast their ballot. All voters have a right to stay in line, claiming that Bucks County, Pennsylvania has been turning away voters. Now, we're looking into all of these claims, Jose, but as I said to you earlier, Pennsylvania has been a specific focus for the Trump campaign when it comes to these claims of voter suppression. The former president posting earlier claiming that there's fraud going on, widespread fraud in Pennsylvania, which we have not seen evidence of. And Bucks County in particular, Jose, is a pretty critical county. It's one of the collar counties around Philadelphia, the suburban counties where both the Trump campaign and the Harris campaign really need to run up their numbers. It could be those counties surrounding Philadelphia that could be the tipping point in this election. So the fact that they are focused in on Bucks in particular is significant, Jose.
I want to hear her talk in real life. Just a normal conversation, not with a microphone in front of her face. She cracks me up. She's got a wonderful voice. I'm not saying that, but she does things that are very interesting when she talks. And she and she's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. Just funny to me. I love you put a microphone in front of my face, I start. That's the thing I always do to test it. Most people don't. I learned that from my DJ friend, right? Most people are like, they tap on it. That's really bad for microphones. Don't ever do that. It's really bad for microphones. But you just go like that, and you can hear that really well in the speakers. And you can tell if you've got a live mic, and nobody really hears it, but it's definitely audible. Just a little trick, guys, a little trick. You don't want to get out there with sibilance, test 2, test, testing 2, test 2, test 2. It's funny to me. Schwarzenegger, he's come out now in favor of Kamala. I want booty gig. That almost hurts the throat trying to say that like Schwarzenegger. But so this is the guy that banged his maid, but he's like a superhero in this country. Let's be honest. He even married one of the Kennedys. So the dude can do no wrong. Okay, he can't. He sucks right now. It's very shameful. But it is what it is. Yeah, he's with Harris. I'm sure he's been to the island. That's probably why Maria left him. Think about it. And that's when he got weird, too. Think about that, too, right? Colorado Secretary of State posted spreadsheet with voting system passwords. Literally, what they did, any of you guys that work with Excel, you'll love this. Here's what they did. They went, there was a column that had the passwords, the BIOS passwords, by the way, for you computer geeks. Yeah, the BIOS passwords. And they literally had them in a column. And they clicked on the column and they right-clicked and they went, hide. And then they let people download it. They didn't password protect. No. No, they just literally friggin' hit it. So somebody was like, highlighted the thing, looked for unhide, and unhide, and found all the passwords. Passwords that are used all over the place. So they inadvertently posted a spreadsheet of its website, or to its website, with a hidden tab that included voting system passwords. What's going to happen now with the voting systems? I've been talking about how there was a chance that the pause for the vote might actually be the good guys. I don't know what's going on, but I know a lot of stuff's going to be coming to the surface right now. And this is going to be an interesting week. That's all I can say. I don't normally feel anxiety. I have got anxiety about this week. I don't ever feel anxiety. So if any of you guys are feeling kind of crazy right now, I'm there with you. Normally I don't. I'll tell you, it's really, like, if I know I got like a weird, like when I had a weird dental procedure coming up where they're going to do a bunch of crap, and it was like, I was a little nervous that. I was like, I get a lot anxious about that, but I don't get anxious ever, except now. News station. It hurts me to say it. It's in Pennsylvania, was forced to apologize for flashing up the U.S. presidential election results in the state as part of a test. They did a test in prod. You don't ever do that, and that's stupid. There's a lot of easy ways to test to make sure that works. So I don't know if that's what this was as much as it was trying to influence, but it shows Harris in a very close race over Trump, but she has him by almost 300,000 votes. Almost to the money, reporting 100%. That's interesting. I'm sure it's just oh, cool, already had that. Oh, here's Michigan Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, which was a good sitcom back in the 80s. I don't know what this chick's done to ruin it. Was it the same state? What state was Governor Benson from? Or Lieutenant Governor, I think, at first. I don't remember what state. I actually lived, when I lived in Glendora, one time we went up, I was like Christmas time or whatever, and that house, that Benson house, that was actually close to us, or close enough to where we'd go see it. And that was always cool during Christmas time. Anyway, fun stories. Here's Michigan's Secretary of State talking about how the Dominion voter access terminals has this weird nationwide issue. If you're, I think it's like of the special needs category, there's some special part of their software that doesn't like split ticket, supposedly. Let her tell us about it.
Issues with the programming of the VATs with specifically
Yes.
from Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that only caught in the past few days, and why can't it be fixed? I saw the release with the
Yeah, this is a nationwide issue with Dominion voter access terminals in the counties that use them. And the voter access terminals, of course, not all the machines, just the ones that are accessible, have an issue with the straight party voting and a programming issue that's, again, affected the machines nationwide. And I think all of us that use Dominion machines were unhappy to learn about this during the testing period and as early voting began. So we're working with Dominion to seek accountability on that front, and also are working with our clerks to ensure voters are aware of this programming issue that will require them to ensure they are voting every section on the ballot.
Do you think the bigger issue in Michigan because we do allow voters to cross over in ways that a lot of other states don't?
Because we have straight party, it's not struck me as I've talked to my other colleagues in other states. They're just as upset about it as we are. So yeah, or surprised, I think. Yeah.
Oh, you're surprised, and you found this in testing right before early voting, huh? And this is nationwide, so not just you, but other states. Let me guess: Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, Ohio. Any of those states hop on that list? Or is it just the ones where the Secretary of States are totally corrupt? So Arizona only, maybe Georgia too, because Raffensperger's a pile of trash. Oh, this is bad. This is going to be bad publicity. Well, yeah, it's proof that you guys lie. And the passwords are out, by the way. Just throw that out there. MSNBC said, so don't trust it. Amid early voting, Republicans again cast doubt on Dominion voting machines. This was 1 week ago, that headline from MSNBC, the tarded of the tardest. Western Journal puts this story out today. Michigan Secretary of State reveals a nationwide issue is affecting certain Dominion voting machines. I don't believe Secretary of State of Michigan is actually a Republican. I feel like that's maybe extra wrong still. Go figure. How'd that happen? America First Legal has announced a broad investigation into the Biden-Harris administration's role in a leak of classified U.S. intelligence documents revealing Israel's plans for a potential strike on Iran. AFL has also filed a lawsuit against the DOD, demanding the release of records tied to Biden administration appointees allegedly linked to the leak, which the DOD denies. I don't know how the hell American First Legal is allowed to get access to that stuff. I would assume they're going to get it's classified. It seems strange to me that they're trying, but worth mentioning. James Comey had an FBI honeypot spy, or spies, infiltrate Trump's 2016 campaign. Makes me think of all the different people that have come out against Trump. The honeypots, the cute ones, trying to get information. From the get-go, Trump was being spied on. Notice how he's going into this one this time. He knows what's up. He knows they're going to try to kill him. He's got only the people closest to him around him, period. Those that are battle-hardened, that have been attacked and have been fighting for him every step of the way since the end of 2021, or 20, yeah. Then here we are, having the final bout, or the end of 2020, I should say. Yeah, they were cheating all the way. All the way. What is this? Oh, this is Jim Jordan. Influence in the 2020 election. Why are we doing this? Election interference. How the FBI... pre-bunked. Yeah, so this is, again, the Jim Jordan's looking into this. The pre-bunking of the Hunter Biden laptop. Kind of mentioned it earlier in the show already, but they're at least doing a formal investigation. Again, a lot of stuff's going to happen when, get out and vote. That's all I can say. If we take the House and take the Senate, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. So we've got the House is the big question. They're obviously going to try shenanigans all over the place. I think a lot of our shenanigan protection that's going on right now, and I don't just mean what we've done, but also what's being done on the larger scale, I think should hopefully catch a lot of that stuff. Well, again, we'll see. Here's what I'm calling crazy. This will fit, I think, rather well. Daily Mail story. Gotta love them. They're one of the crap rags. Them, the Telegram, and... I keep forgetting. I can't get all three of them in my brain at the same time. Maybe I'll, say Beetlejuice if I do that. And oh, shit. Yeah, don't say it again. Transgender Dem voter arrested for Trump shooting threat a day before the Pennsylvania rally. Quite the looker. She is. I don't know which direction that person goes, frankly. That could be a very ugly woman or a very ugly man. I don't know which. Paul Pelosi's attacker, a.k.a. David DePep, was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. I hate what happened to Paul Pelosi. That's friggin' horrible. And if this lover of his got away, or if it wasn't really, whatever the case was, the whole thing was strange. He was still holding a drink in his hand when he answered the door with the cops, and DePap was with a hammer. He literally had a drink in his hand. Maybe that was his way of being like, can I just have a drink? I need some water or something. Maybe a stiff drink. Maybe he was hoping he could hit him in the head with it. I don't know. The guy gets life in prison with no chance of parole. And that's so not California. You could shoot 15 children right in front of their mothers here in California, and you would definitely probably be up for parole. I say definitely probably, because I don't know. But we've got reasonably crazy, unstrict stuff here. We'll make you work. We'll not let you out when you're supposed to and make you work forest fires, but that's Kamala. That's another thing. So I just find it strange. Again, what he did is horrible. It's ABC News posting it too, but what he did is, he shouldn't hit people in the head with hammers. That's pretty much that. There's SWAT on scene. There's an armed person at a Four Seasons hotel in Atlanta, and shootings have been identified. I've got another video. I don't know if it's the same place, but if you can see the shooter actually seems to fire towards the cameraman, which is kind of crazy. We're going to assume they aren't, because that would be probably a community thing or something if it was. So I'm sure he wasn't shooting at us, but yeah. That kind of... Oh, there. That sounded really close, first off. It sounded like a rifle. I don't know. I actually haven't shot my AR yet, so I don't know what those sound like. I'm looking forward to that day a lot. Very much, in fact. Yeah, considering everything going on, this is an interesting thing. Now, I think I've got one more. Yeah, here's the actual shooter. He gets pissed. I don't know. He doesn't like whatever the hell the sheets and stuff, the linens. Not happy about the linens inside the room, which is usually what starts most people on shooting sprees, I've come to find. Whatever the case is, still falls under the group of crazy. I think it's fair.
Maybe that's their help.
I mean, maybe they're trying to signal the police that they're up there.
Christina, you see him? Oh my God, this is so sad. Christina, do you see him throwing stuff over the balcony? Yeah.
He's got a mask on.
He does have a mask on.
Yeah, he's not happy, whatever's going on there. Has a mask on, seems to be like shaking his head and stuff. I would say he seems mentally unstable. And again, I'm assuming this is the sound we heard, and maybe they were above him when they shook because it was so loud because they were so close. So again, just crazy, odd stuff. I keep thinking I click that. This is really funny, this little thing, and then I don't look anymore, and that's what happens. I lose myself. You guys lose me. That's kind of what happens. Got one Trump story. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. U.S. Judge Eileen Cannon, we talked about how the lawyer for the shooter, or would-be shooter, I should correct myself, was a friend of hers in high school. Many, self included, and I've probably started this rumor, whatever. Many assume that that they did this to try to get her off the case. They don't like her. They don't want her doing this case. Why? Because this guy's probably a deep state asset. And she's like, no, I'm not going to recuse myself. Thanks, though. Have a nice day. If you have a problem with it, get another lawyer. Otherwise, F you, I think. Something to that effect. Something to that effect. TWC, the wellness company. TWC.health/OTF. Amazing company that has something that I think is extraordinarily important to have in your arsenal. It's like you should have water. You should have food, backup food, rations if you can, even to agree as gross as they are, but food, ways to, like, I realized I have a jacuzzi. I was like, hey, that's a source of water. And then I was like, what can I filter that through? And they're like, just a regular charcoal filter will take out most chlorine. So I was like, holy crap. I got a stupid Brita filter. So look at what you got. Make sure you've got resources. You know, a lot of people, you might have a hot water heater. That's potable water. You might have the backs of toilets, potable water. You might have more water. Not the bowl. No. I don't care how clean you keep your toilet. No. But the back, unless you put them blue dye things in there and all that stuff, yeah, that's potable water. You can drink that. You might not want to, but if you're really, really thirsty, it'll save your life. One of the other things that happens sometimes is crazy viruses seem to get spread from all sorts of crazy willy-nilly places too. It's strange. So you can protect yourself from that. Back in the day, we couldn't. We didn't have protection, even though it existed. They never told us that. If you had an infection, you got an antibiotic. If you had a virus, you had to let it ride itself out. Drink a lot of water, get a lot of rest, take some NyQuil. All right, call me in 10 days if you don't feel better. That's it. Well, not anymore. You actually have things you can do. You can get a med kit that through doctors, the wellness company, Dr. Drew Pinsky and Dr. McCullough, and one other gentleman, forever. I think it's almost going to become, I could look up about us, but I'm not going to. It's already going to be long enough. The Contagion Emergency Kit's a very special kit to me for a lot of reasons. It's got all the stuff you would possibly want for any sort of viral problem. They say it's good for one person, okay? I'm not going to judge that per se. I would say if I had to, I could probably get 2 people by on this if we had to. If I had to, but you might not want to go that way. You might want to take heavier doses. Might be smarter. But 25 tablets ivermectin, 20 tablets hydroxychloroquine, 12 tablets of the generic Z-Pak, azithromycin. Did it. 75 milligram generic Tamiflus. You're getting 10 of those. Also, Pulmicort with a nebulizer. Pulmicort's it's an upper respiratory thing, kind of helps open you up. I think even might work for, I don't know if it works also if you have asthma. If you have asthma, you know more about asthma than I do. I don't know if that helps with that, but whatever. If it does, then there you go. That's even cooler. You've got 5 of those vials plus the nebulizer. This is the Contagion kit. This will assure that you've got medicines to handle a virus, no matter what it is, no matter what they call it. One has said that the last one was the fake one, and that if there is another one, it'll be the real one. I would just make sure you've got yourself covered. Go to twc.health/OTF, twc.health/OTF. And again, they've got a medical emergency kit. There's all sorts of stuff. Ivermectin, generic Z-Pak, amoxicillin. It's got a whole bunch of stuff like that. Got the contagion kit we've talked about. You've got a first aid kit that's got all the life-saving medications and medical supplies carefully put in there. A travel emergency kit, so you got one in your car. And then they've got a kid's emergency kit, which even has the auto-injector for, what is that one they call it? I forget, the EpiPen, yeah. I have a couple friends that have kids that are deathly allergic to like bee stings and stuff, and they've got to have one of these. These things don't last long, though. I understand they go bad after, a year or something like that? So, I don't know, something to keep in mind. But they've got all these wonderful kits that are just good to have. Go to twc.health/OTF, twc.health/OTF. Make sure you're protected. So, again, what it's all about these days, and really all the stuff that I advertise, drslikesgold.com, like, it's about protecting yourself from them, right? I wish I could advertise like Second Amendment stuff. That'd be rad. If that happens, if I get to that point, it'd be good times, because that'll be one. Man, it'll be fun to go out and do videos and stuff with people. I will literally drive to do that. That would be blast. One of these days, we'll get there. An Alabama man who left threatening phone messages from Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis and the county sheriff last summer because he was angry over an investigation into former President Trump was sentenced Tuesday to nearly 2 years in prison. Again, don't do stupid stuff. I understand you mean well. I understand it's driving you insane. Don't. If you're listening to the news and watching the news and it's making you angry, it's why they're doing it. So they're trying to incite you. Just sit on your hands, stay chill, learn how to meditate, switch to decaf. I don't know, whatever you got to do it. Do it. We got some devastating photos. This is in Valencia, Spain. Horrible historic flooding. 51 dead. Well, actually, I think it's 53 dead because it seemed to change rather quickly. But some pretty brutal. Look at this damage. Holy crap. All these cars obviously just got swept up with the waters and just collected. Oh, shit, man. Think about that. Oh, man. Think about how many probably dead bodies and stuff there is. This is not good. Probably a lot of bad things going on with that. And we got one other picture here that's pretty crazy. Bums me out. It's odd, and I will bless you, Valencia, Spain, when I do it, even though I don't know if it's appropriate per se. I feel like there's something to this, but paella. I was actually planning. I already told the girlfriend, like, we're making paella. I've been meaning to make it all week, but she snuck a recipe in on me, and it was good and delicious. I'm happy we did it, but paella. I love paella. I love making it. It's one of my favorite things to cook. It's hard to cook. It's hard to get that succara just perfect at the bottom. I love it. It's delicious. You should try to make it. You can get a paella pan and just learn to make paella, and your life will be better. Oh, it's got rice in it, by the way. For you people that are like, I can't eat rice, it's too many carbs. Whatever. Significant fire at a UK nuclear submarine shipyard. This is probably not good. I'm sure nobody there is like got any sort of expression on their face whatsoever. They're just out fighting fires, with the hose and running around all the places like, oh yeah, miss, give me your baby. I will for sure help you. Yes, no, that looks horrible. That giant blazing fire in front of us right now is, wow, exciting. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody knows how they feel, but they, unless they're happy. Tell when a Brit's happy, they laugh. It's cute. It's cute when they do it. It is. Financial Times posted this. Ukraine, you going to let me take this off from? No. How about, can I say FU? Where's the FU option? Is that in there? I don't see it. God, I wish it was. Well, we'll do the headline. Ukraine and Russia in talks about halting strikes on energy plants. That's a smart move. Smart move on both sides. First off, Russia's got to rebuild all this shit, and it knows that. It's like, all right, kind of shooting myself in the foot at this point. Come on, Ukraine. Come on, West, stop supplying them so we can get this damn thing over with. Trump's like, don't you worry, I got this. So not Trump voice, but I'm getting closer, getting up into the nose a little better. Well, we'll see. One of these days I might pull it off after he's like dead or something. Years from now. Pentagon warns no limits on Ukraine support if North Korea joins the war. I don't get this. This is just stupid. The United States is warning that it is ready to escalate NATO involvement in Ukraine if North Korean troops join Russia's war. First off, you can't. Second off, North Korea being involved with it doesn't affect NATO at all because Ukraine's still not a fucking NATO country. In case you're not playing along at home. So if the Pentagon is actually saying this, well, the Pentagon has zero control. The Pentagon is the part of our military that's like, even the military is like, yeah. And maybe there's some that listen to the Pentagon. The place that right before 9/11 had already lost 2.1 trillion. What, 2 trillion? 2.2 trillion? I don't know. It seems like the number keeps getting bigger. Maybe that's a Mandela effect thing or something. I swear to God, I thought it was a trillion back in the day, which was a shit ton of money. But yeah, whatever. It's 2.2 trillion. Inflation. It is what it is. It's a mess. So now there you go. Look, we're going to go to war if somebody else helps you. Iran, if you help them, we're going to nuke Russia. Really? I mean, this is just, to me, this is the stupidest thing ever. Like, we are totally ganging up on this through this proxy, this Ukraine, this stupid, poor country. Not the country's not stupid. I was thinking Volodymyr Zelensky, when I was thinking stupid. And then I was like, nah, it's the country. I feel bad for them, not that douchehole. So that was a misspeak. But we are ganging up on Russia through this country where we're just annihilating their population. And we're like, if anyone helps you, though, oh, mother F, we're going nuclear. For what? Doing the same thing you're doing? I hate hypocrisy, and I hate being a hypocrite. Well, I'm not one. Let's put it that way. And if I am, I get caught, and I will admit it. It sucks. Those are really humbling moments in life, for sure. They suck. But yeah, being a hypocrite blows. This is not. It's just stupid. Four saboteurs allegedly including an American. Maybe, I don't know. They were killed trying to infiltrate Russia. Again, if there are Americans, which there probably are some CIA assets that are there, I don't approve of this, that's for sure. And if we're trying to actually sabotage Russia behind enemy lines as Americans, that's... that could start wars. I mean, they do this stuff to us. So, again, it is what it is. I know there's a cold, dark spy world out there. But, yeah. This isn't, again, I don't know if they're trying to ratchet up the idea of going to war or what. Or, using nukes. This is, I think it's just crazy. This is like, Austin Powers type stuff here to me. Russia has had some form of a court case, and maybe this is just based off of what the ruble's worth. I don't know. But Russia fined Google $20 decillion. $20 decillion. DEC. A bunch of you are like, huh? So here's your hundreds, right? Here's thousands, million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, hextillion, septillion, octillion, nonillion, 20 decillion dollars. Are you shitting me? That's rad. It's such an insane, it's like Austin Powers, like bazillion dollars. It's like, might as well. I want the whole planet. Israel strikes appeared to have damaged Iran's ballistic missile production and air defense sites, affecting Tehran's ability to carry out any future strikes, analysts tell NBC News. Then Iran came out and said, not true, we can still make weapons. So, yeah, there you go. You said, she said, blah, 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 blah. Oh, there it is. Iran says missile production unaffected by Israel strikes. Sure. So anyway, they're all saying what they're saying. And finally, I don't know, just felt like it needed to be said. Satanic Temple opens a second abortion business to kill more babies. Makes sense. That's what abortion clinics do. Satanic Temple has opened what it calls a second satanic abortion clinic. A virtual service redirected users to TST Health, Critics like Anne Reed of Operation Rescue dismiss this as merely a landing page lacking physical clinical facilities. TST aims to operate in states where abortion is restricted. So whatever. They're trying to do some crazy stuff. TST, keep in mind, the satanic temple. Maybe do a search in your area and see if they're trying to do anything strange. I don't know. I don't know if it's happening. I don't know if they're just trying to freak Christians out, because this is very geared towards one sect of our population. So it is what it is, you know. Very, very much. All said. Crazy stuff going on right now. We've got a lot happening. I think we're going to continue to have a lot happening. And I believe we are going to, well, one, get out and vote early. Make sure you do that, for sure. We need to identify any of these problems, make noise of it, report it to the authorities, but make sure there's a report. Make sure you get that happening. And if there's anything, and again, I'd really, really try not to just show up in MAGA gear. I just don't think that's a good idea, folks. Show up at the polling places looking like, you know, Joe Schmo from Kokomo. You know what I mean? And I think, well, that might be a problem. Out here in California, if you dress like Kokomo, you're good, dude. If you put on one of them Tommy Bahama shirts or something that's crazier, the better. No, yeah, you can go in anywhere, and they'd be like, dude, nice shirt. Maybe some places, though, you get frowned upon when you walk into the VFW wearing a Tommy Bahama. Maybe. Depends. All said. Lots happening. You guys are making this happen. You guys, I know it feels like it's a lot of work. I feel you. I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders too. Just push forward. We at least got this section. I don't think we're going to get a break per se, but we'll be able to stop and take a small breather for a day or two. And it'll be worth it. It'll be earned. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for helping make these changes. Because where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.